We've got Sunshine, we've got Griggs. Gentlemen, it wasn't quite the party that we wanted today in terms of the result. But KJ, Amorim's first game, we didn't lose. Give me your thoughts, good, bad, and indifferent.
We've got massive teething problems going on, which I think all of us could pretty much say we expected to happen, I think Amorim has only had the squad for a week. He's obviously picked his first 11 that thinks will get the job done, and for me, he got it wrong. In my opinion, Johnny Evans starting in left centre back of the three wasn't a great idea. Ericsson and Casemiro together wasn't a great idea. Garnacho playing when he's just not in form and getting a lot of heat as a young player wasn't the best idea. And I think as much as it worked in sense of he got the assist, I think Ahmad was wasted outside on the right wing back position because he's so talented and so good in the forward positions. Like as much as he's probably good at right wing back, he's so much better in one of those inside 10 positions. So I just think he's just got obviously the starting 11 wrong. His personnel isn't ideal at all to get this going, especially the ones that he picked. And then we've got the teaming problems. We've got to give this time. Like he said it himself that to get time means you have to win time, and that means you have to win games. And I'm sure he's looking at the different things he can do better to make sure we win the next game. But overall, as a United fan, disappointed. But really and truly, if we said the squad was rubbish and crap and not going to challenge for the Premier League and can't score goals and it's not good enough, why is it 2 weeks later from that point we're miraculously just going to be the best team in the world? It was never going to happen. So I wanted to win this game, but at the end of the day, we're not there yet, and we have to see what Amorim does in the next game against Bodo Glimt and Everton.
No, I hear you on the Ahmad thing. We didn't see enough of him we saw him right at the end, and you just think if he was a little bit closer, what more could he do? I just listen. A lot of people in the comments are saying excuses. Do you feel like you're giving excuses for Man United today?
No, we won't. No, because we're not good enough. Like I don't know what more I can say. Like an excuse is a reason. No, what I'm giving is reasons. Like I'm giving you reasons why we didn't win. Excuse would be, it was raining, or Ed Sheeran was at the ground and it just made Ipswich play so much better. Like that was the excuses. I've given you reasons. I've given you what I think my manager's done wrong. I think I think our players weren't good enough in the day, and that's it. That's all we can say as United fans. There's no excuses going on here. It's just the truth. You know what it is, Terry? They want us to be fuming. They want our heads to be on Mars. They want us to say Amorim out already. They want us to say all these wild outlandish things so they can laugh and banter us and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, these are the same people that were calling us crap. So why are you expecting me to be mad tonight? So
no, I hear you. This here says we didn't lose. Big clubs when it suits you. You do also have to understand you're missing the sarcasm when I say that, my friend. I love that. Like you don't understand the difference in a reason and an excuse or sarcasm. Dizzy, what was your opening thoughts on United's first game under Amorim today?
I think what I saw the first 10 minutes or so. I was like, oh, I can see our formation. Oh wow, look how compact we are. It's all looking good. And you know what? We scored like 2 minutes in. And unpopular opinion, it might have been too early to get the goal, to be honest. Because after that, bro, I'm watching the game. I'm like, hold on, we haven't touched the ball in like 20 minutes. Ipswich are just popping it around us and stuff, and we couldn't get nowhere near them. And I think, I think the conversation around Amorim is a bit reductive after a game. I think we can hope, we can speculate, which is great, but I think it's way too early to be drawing any sort of conclusions about literally anything. Especially after an international break where some guys were coming back on Thursday or Wednesday night. I thought second half we controlled a lot of it, but we were still lacking the cutting edge. We were still lacking the final ball to create a clear-cut chance. And my only fear is I don't know how they fix that, because a lot of the guys that we have in those areas are very wasteful with the ball. Very, very wasteful with the ball. So I don't know, but I'm optimistic though.
Just on what Ruben has said, just looking at some of these comments that have come out, take him at face value. He just says, this week I spoke in interviews about more than what I did in more than 4 years at Sporting. I want to just work with my players, nothing more. But I understand it's a different game here. He goes on to say that we have problems. We know that the players will be confused sometimes, which interestingly, it's nice to see that your manager sees it the same way you did, because I felt that in that first half we looked lost at times. But by this time next year, I promise we won't have the same struggles. And I think what's really important about that is I know that there's this propensity to say, I want to see the style of play instantly. And I do want to see the formation and what we're trying to do. But the idea that it can be perfected inside a few months with no transfer windows, I think is a crazy train of thought. So it is going to take time to get me. Look how long it took Jurgen Klopp to not just play good football, but to get that balance right where they were good enough to challenge for a league title. And that was a team, by the way, inherited only a year or so prior and was like a game away, was one Gerrard slip away from winning the Premier League. We ain't near that. This team ain't been touching those things. So I agree with the criticism he's had, but I think this is where maybe more so than any other manager we've had, I feel like there has to be an element of patience. But if he keeps the same system and he keeps trying to progress this in the right way, I think he'll get that by and large.
And to be fair, the first half we were very stagnant. We looked confused. We didn't know what to do with the ball. We couldn't even get through Ipswich's press. In the second half, after he made some changes, we were moving the ball quite well. We were holding the ball in sort of good areas. We weren't in our own half, and Onana didn't have the ball for large spells. Yeah, we rode our luck with a couple of great saves by Onana. We may have to revise the Onana hate. Maybe
we need to chat on it now. We need to chat him later in the show. We need to chat about Onana later in the show.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought
Griggs, how about yourself, bro? What's your opening thoughts watching today's game?
Nothing unexpected, to be honest. I mean, the lineup shocked me. I didn't expect Ahmad to play right wing back. I'm not gonna lie. I expect him to play that right 10, and obviously, credit to Amorim. He experimented. That's what you gotta do when you start at a new club, especially mid-season, when you really haven't had time to train. And that's what he did. He played Ahmad right wing back, and for the first couple of minutes, it worked because obviously he got the assist. But hopefully, it was just a one-time experimentation. I want to see Ahmad play higher up the pitch. In my opinion, I think today showed that he is arguably, excluding Onana as a goalkeeper, Ahmad's our best player, at least right now, in terms of consistent levels. Every time you see him play, he pretty much performs the same every single game. So I would like to see him play higher up the pitch. Yeah, you saw a club that had 3 days of training with the new manager. I think Amorim just said it now too. He's like, my players thought too much. We only really had 2 days to really learn with each other. It's a completely different system. We're no longer playing 4 at the back. It's 3 at the back. Center backs have different angles now. You're playing with wing backs, only 2 midfielders, so you have less options in midfield to pass to. Attackers playing different positions. Rashford at the 9. It's the same old. There's a reason why he says himself that he doesn't like playing the 9 because he basically gets knocked out the game. And yeah, I think we just need to see better players come. And I think hopefully on Thursday against Bodo Glimt, we see more experimentation. We see different players, whether it's to see freaking Anthony right wing back. I don't know who you have to play. Because Dalot left wing back, I don't want to see Dalot left wing back again. He was absolutely trash today. Yeah. He was trash today. And then I think Amorim, well, you also saw today, you saw what Amorim pointed out in the interviews he's done for the past week. He's highlighted 2 weaknesses, physical levels, and that we really have a lot of weak midfielders. Our midfield performance today was absolutely diabolical. I thought Eriksen was getting run all over the place. Casemiro really wasn't doing much. When Ugarte came on, he increased the intensity levels a little bit, but you also see his limitations. So we need to improve, and that's through the market, whether that's integrating maybe some academy. Obviously, Kobe Mainoo coming back soon will help. Lenny Yoro coming back soon will help. And also, you just see a system that requires a lot of more high-energy players that you really can't play a lot of old players, because I remember even at Sporting, I think Amorim, from what I can remember, only really played one old player, and that was Sebastian Coates, the Uruguayan center back, as a central center back. And that's because that was his captain. So he needed that leadership. And Johnny Evans today, I wanted Johnny Evans to play, but I do think left center back was the wrong place to play him. Yeah. I think he should have played central center back in the middle, because when you play a central center back, your central center back has to be basically the leader of the defense, and they also have to be able to. They're the ones that have the best passing angles. They gotta pass from left. They gotta be able to pass to the left and to the right. And De Ligt, for me, he's too safe. He's not gonna break any lines. So I thought for me that was the wrong choice to make. But it is what it is. Also, I want to shout out Kieran McKenna real quick, because I was one of his biggest supporters on this platform and on YouTube since the summer. I said he's good enough to coach United one day. A lot of fans boo me. Well, today you saw him coach against United, and obviously, this is no dig at Amorim because obviously he has his own situation right now. But he's a good enough coach. They played really well. They're a really good team with the hot level squad they have. So I just want to give him a shout out, and maybe one day in the future, who knows?
But that just shows what happens when you have a team for more than 2 years and you're progressing. And he's had that team for 3 years now. He's got them from League One. He's got them through the Championship, and now he's shown his quality in the Premier League. So it's a funny because now people are going to do this comparison with McKenna, saying, "Oh, but look what McKenna's doing with Ipswich and Amorim." But like literally, Amorim's been saying, "You can't chat to me about my sporting team that I had with 4 years compared to this team I've had for a week." Like, like it's not comparable at all. So big up McKenna. He's doing a fantastic job.
Especially from a Man United point of view, it's not as though he's not as though Ten Hag has just left after winning a Champions League and a league title, and we're a brilliant team, and he's gone on to manage the Netherlands, and he's taking over a team full of confidence that's been winning major trophies that's at a high level. Then I think you could expect a much quicker integration, better decision making. But I don't think the rivals do not want to give Man United this time. The media won't either. But it's genuinely, in so many areas of the club, we're at the start of something. And I don't know if you guys ever started anything in your life. You know, maybe you have. Very, very few things are perfect at the beginning, and it's going to take time and patience. However, what we can't lose sight of is the end goal and the standards. And I just think we've got to be patient with that.
This reminds me of when Arsenal. Remember when Arsenal first got Arteta, and it looked like, well, they've just got an absolute like Lego head. Like it just wasn't looking good. They had a few wins here. I remember they beat us. I remember they beat us in the first 3 games of having him. But there's a lot of moments where you're just like, what is this guy doing? Remember there was like in the relegation zone for like how many weeks, you know? And that was in the first couple of years of Arteta. Now look, they haven't won the Premier League, but the people act like the result that you get today is going to be the results you get forever. The squad that you play today will be the squad that you play with forever. We all know that's not going to be the same in the years, 2 years, 3 years time.
No, I completely agree. I just want to go to this comment that's come through here before I go to you, Sunshine. Sorry, mate. This comment says time and patience equals excuses. So what you're saying here, though, Jack, though, is that there is what you're referring to is it's called a TTC, which is called a thought terminating cliche. So somebody just saying trust the process, and that's all they say. Just stop this conversation, and it's just trust the process. That's not what's going on here. The same as people state when you challenge their high standards. Listen, I've just got standards, mate. Just stop asking me questions and have high standards. That is a thought terminating cliche. What we're talking about is not a thought terminating cliche. We are stating that patience is needed, but you need to have those standards. We understand that the squad needs to be improved. We understand the manager made mistakes today, and he told us he was experimenting, and we hope that he doesn't keep making them again. So just in those 2 examples, that isn't us just using a buzzword and not giving it any detail or breakdown. Because if, for instance, he keeps picking Casemiro and Eriksen in midfield, and it continues not to work, yes, you're patient with other areas, but you start to look at it and go, hang on a minute, how are you not identifying this as a major issue? Ten Hag, as an example, did that far too regularly. So again, saying that you want to have time and patience doesn't mean that a manager cannot be critiqued or a player cannot be criticized. We're not using buzzwords to cover up the analysis here. So again, nice try, but you are bullshitting a little bit.